This is the perfect steak. Ooh. On top of it, we're gonna go with our steak. Now, when you want steak, you normally want an 1.5 inch thick piece of entrecote, which is probably called rib eye, I think. All right. I'm gonna flatten it out. Whoa, see? We have like about 3 inches. All right, okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slice it straight up in half. My knife is pretty sharp, but the meat is still like, it's a thick piece of meat. There we go. So we got 2 nice pieces of steak. Not a lot of marbling in there. I don't know if you can see it. Ooh, baby. There's like a fairly decent bit of marbling in there. So it's like a perfect, the reason why I like to cook with entrecote is because of the fat to muscle ratio in it. All right. I'm gonna go wash my hands really quick. Hands are washed. I'm gonna go in generously. Extremely generously with black pepper. So on both sides. This steak has been resting at room temperature for about an hour and a half, so it's not straight from the fridge, which will help it cook much faster. All right, getting all the sides. We've got 2 beautiful pieces of steak ready. Now, let's go to, I'm gonna go under the exhaust collections because it's gonna be a bit smoky. The reason why I'm cooking it with cold searing is that this is the best method to cook a steak when you're indoors, because it's the method which is least messy. The cleanup is super easy afterwards. It's only gonna take a second, and it's gonna be a lot less smoky in your house as well. So what does cold searing actually mean? You're gonna start with a cold pan, hence the name cold searing. So you're gonna take a cold pan, you're gonna lay your steaks flat in. There you go. Just straight up in. No oil, no nothing, because these have enough fat in them, so we don't need a lot of oil. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put them on a stove on like just a little over than medium high. Maybe medium is fine. I'm just gonna put it straight. Once it's turned on, I'm gonna set a timer for 4 minutes. Okay, timer's ringing. It's been about 4-5 minutes, and you can see the steak is smoking. There's a lot of sound coming from it. It's sizzling. Let's take a look at how it is at the bottom. Nice, 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 nice. Exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for browning, too much browning at this point. I'm just looking to cook it slowly from each side. So I'm just gonna flip it now, and I'm just gonna let it go for 2 minutes, keeping it at the same temperature, which is like just slightly above than medium. So medium high. 2 minutes up, again, let's flip it. Now, this time, when I flip it, you can see that this side has browned a little bit more than the other one. A lot of the reasons, the pan is way hotter this time, maybe something else. But now I'm gonna turn the heat just a tad bit slower. I'm just putting it right at medium. And now I'm gonna flip pretty much every 2 minutes or so. We're gonna continuously flip them every 2 minutes or so until the steak is cooked. Now, how will we know the steak is cooked? I'll get to that next. So the way you can tell when a steak is cooked, if you hold your thumb and your first finger and then you press here, this means the steak is rare. This is how a rare steak would feel like upon touch. But if you take your second finger, the middle finger, and your thumb, and then you do it, it's quite a bit firmer. It's not super firm, but it's still a lot firmer than this one. So this is the perfect steak firmness that I'm looking for when I'm cooking. So it's perfect at medium rare. And if I can just, if I can just do this, if I can just do this, I can immediately just check my steak. I can see that it's still not as firm as I'm looking for, which means we still have some more time to get a bit of more color on it. Now I can tell that it's getting really, really close. I can, yeah. So now I'm just gonna start flipping every 1 minute or so. If you want to add some herbs like thyme or something else, or rosemary or butter or olive oil, you can do it now if you want to. But for me, since this is gonna be a garam masala steak, I'm gonna add the seasoning right after it comes off the stove. Okay, the steaks are done. I'm just gonna take them out. Now they're gonna rest for about 5 minutes. Now in the same pan, I'm actually gonna go in with 2 slices of bread, and I'm gonna soak up all of that flavor. While that steak is resting, I'm gonna dump a little bit of olive oil on top. And I'm gonna take a whole bunch of garam masala, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it on top. Previously, I used to add the garam masala before I cooked them. I learned that the garam masala gets burned when the steak is being cooked. So I realized this is a much easier way to do it. Now, while that steak is resting, we're gonna make a few different things for the sandwich. We're gonna start with, and I'm gonna get some help. We're gonna start with making some mint raita, which is we're just gonna take 2 large tablespoons of your favorite mint chutney or sauce, and just dump it into a cup of yogurt, and then mix. Now while that is being made, I'm just gonna take some chili, whichever one I like, and I'm just gonna slice it thin or large or however you'd like it to be. And we're gonna take, nice, this is perfect, thank you. And we're gonna take a large red onion, slice it in half, and we're going to make really, really thin, as thin as possible that we can cut. We're gonna make really, really thin onion rings. Yeah, there you go, super thin. You don't have to be perfect. If you get normal onion, half onions, that's half onions, these are fine as well. All right, I'm gonna clean up a little bit. I'm gonna move that to the side. Oh, it's gonna be really messy, but whatever. Okay, time to slice the steak. Ooh, it's cooked perfectly medium rare. I'm telling you, bro, this cold searing method, it never disappoints. Oh, just look at that. It's perfect, right? Do you want it thin?
Yes.
Okay, you can cut the slices as thin as possible or as thick as possible. I usually find that if they're a little thin, They fit very well with the sandwich, but I kind of like them a little chunky like this. Okay, now we're gonna take some salt and we're gonna put generously on top of these steak slices. Wait. And I'm gonna give them another hit of some of that garam masala from before. Now, if you're like me, you're gonna find it really hard to not to eat them as is, but I'm just gonna wait. Can I get those slices? Okay, let's start with our slices then. First up, we're gonna go with a generous amount of our mint raita. There we go. We're going to top that up with some of that onion that we just cut. You don't need to be very fancy, just go as easy as you can. On top of it, we're gonna go with our steak slices. I kind of like going 2 layers of steak. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt in between. Since we did not put any salt before, it's perfectly fine to go a little overboard with your salt at the moment. There you go. Now I'm gonna put a little bit more of that yogurt sauce, mint yogurt sauce. And finally, I'm gonna top it off with some nice spicy chili. Close it up. Okay, I am super hungry, and I'm just gonna dive straight in. Bismillah. Oh my goodness. I am floored every time I eat this. Such an amazing combination of beef with mint and yogurt, onion, chili. OMG. Amazing. And the garam masala, it just brings out a whole other side of the steak that you normally don't see. I hope I explained as pretty well. If I missed something or if you still have any questions, please comment below and I will respond immediately. Thank you so much for watching. If you like that, maybe go watch another one. All right, see you guys next time.